Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Crafty Witch, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to make some snake oil, and it's very easy to make if you happen to have some snakeskin sheds, and hopefully you can find some. The ones I have, some were gifted to me, and the others I collected out in nature. So I will show you. So these ones here, they're dark and they're small. So these come from garter snakes, and these ones actually came from my my mom's place. And how we go looking for them is we might leave some boards out in the tall grass, and then so what happens is these little guys, these garter snakes, will go and they'll like slither underneath the boards, and the wood helps create that friction so that when they go underneath, they can have their skin peeled back off of their bodies, and then they go along their merry way kind of thing. And then so what happens is then later on we go and we lift up the boards, and then we collect the snakeskin sheds. These are garter snakes, so there was never any worry about like poisonous snakes or anything like that. So if you happen to live in an area that has poisonous snakes, please be careful. Don't do that. Collect them. Maybe if you have friends that have snakes as pets or something like that, that might be a way for you to get a hold of snakeskin sheds. Some occult shops will sell them, so that's another thing that you might be able to access as well. Now these ones, as you can tell, they're different. They're white. These ones actually belong to a constrictor snake. I don't know the name of it. It belonged to a friend of mine, and when he was talking about how like his snake was starting the shedding process, I was like, hey, what are you gonna do with those once your snakes have, like, you know, finished shedding? And he was like, well, throw them out. I was like, can I please have them? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he's like, well, what do you use them for? I'm like, oh, you know, I make stuff. So he gave them to me, which was really nice of him. And this is what I do with them. I make snake oil with them. If I have a smaller jar, I use a little bit because I don't want to use too much of it. I want to try to ration my supplies for as long as I can. Yeah, this is what it looks like. So some folks might be a little bit squeamish when it comes to working with something like this, but I'm okay with it. The snakes weren't harmed in any way. It was collected ethically. So that's that. So what do I use snake oil for? Well, I use it for attracting money and wealth. I also use it for healing and health type of rituals or spells. I also will use it as a form of protection. It can also be used for, like, if you want to learn more about like herbal healing, natural type healing paths that utilize a lot of natural plants, ingredients, that kind of thing. A snake is a wonderful ally for those folks that do want to learn more about the, you know, the herbal medicines and that kind of thing. So snake, I've done videos on snake medicine already. And if you want to go check that out, feel free to go and watch those very ancient videos from, like, I don't know, 2007 or some damn thing. But anyway, let's get to it, okay? So I'm going to use a little quart, not a quart, half pint or whatever the hell. I think it's 500 milliliters. I think that's half a pint. I don't know. I'm going to use a jar. And I want to see if there's some pieces, small pieces like that, I'll throw in there. This one I'll throw in. And it's really easy to pull it apart. Rips very easy. And I'm going to put these ones back in here. Put that in there. Then I'm going to get some of my garter snakeskin sheds out. And you know what? You may not have 2 different varieties of snakeskin sheds. Maybe you only got one kind. That's okay. Use what you got. Some folks that don't have any access to snakeskin sheds, I know of some folks, they will use dried corn husks as a substitute, so that might be something you might want to consider. So here's another one. And then, so that's how much I've added. You can see that in there. And I'm going to put these ones away. And this oil lasts for quite a while. I guess it really would depend on how much you use and that kind of thing. You might have it for quite a long time, or you might go through it fairly quickly depending on what your magical practice is like, or if you decide to give some away to folks who might be in need. So that's pretty much it. And then you take your oil and you pour it in there. I like to leave that headspace at the top. So now it's suspended in the oil. It's best to leave this sit. The longer the better, actually. And I never strain the snakeskin sheds out of there. You can if you want, but at least let it sit for a month or two. And you will see that different breeds of snakes, their snakeskin sheds will react differently to the oil. So the garter snakes tend to hold up fairly well. And looking at the constrictor snake, it almost looks like it's not holding up very well, but that's okay. And then every once in a while, just kind of move it around, give it a swish, a little bit of a shake. Make sure you label your jar and date it. And yeah, use it to anoint your wallets, your purses. If you have your own business, maybe anoint your business card. You might want to use it to anoint like your cash register, your till, or whatever. You could also use it, like I've said, if you want to learn more about the herbal medicines and that kind of thing, you can use that as well for that. It's excellent for healing. If you want to tap into certain goddesses, darker goddesses, that kind of thing, this is also really good for that as well. So yeah, tapping into ancient serpent medicine, wisdom. So there you go. That's how you make some snake oil. Ciao.